Hello friends, it's nice to see you today. We're going to be sharing a story about a very kind mouse, maybe a little too kind, and a very clever bird. Now some of you have shared this story with me before, but I thought it was worth sharing because it does show how even if you're a little bit too kind, you can have some good circumstances from there. This story is by LeUyen Pham. You might recognize that name from the Princess in Black series. She helped illustrate those. A piece of cake. It was Little Bird's birthday. Mouse, who was a very kind mouse, made her a cake. He worked the whole morning through and used up everything in his pantry. Mouse began to walk to Little Bird's home. On the way, he met Chicken, sitting with all her eggs. "Hello, Chicken," said Mouse. Chicken said, "Yummers! That's one tasty-looking cake. Hey, Mouse, could I have some? If you give me a piece of that cake, I'll trade you." I wonder what she's going to trade. "A cork." "A cork?" "Sure. Just think of all the things you can use it for." Mouse didn't think that Little Bird would need a cork. But Mouse was a very kind mouse. Surely Little Bird would not mind if I gave Chicken some of her cake. So Mouse traded one piece of cake for the cork and went on his way. Next, Mouse met Squirrel, who was gathering nuts. "Hello, Squirrel," said Mouse. Squirrel said, "Gadzooks, that's one tasty-looking cake. Mouse, old buddy, how about giving me some? If you give me a piece of cake, I'll trade you." I wonder what he's going to trade. Maybe some acorns? Let's turn the page and find out. "I'll trade you a wire." "A wire?" "Oh yeah, just think of all the things you can do with a wire." Mouse couldn't imagine that Little Bird would need a wire. But Mouse was a very kind mouse. Surely Little Bird would not mind if I gave Squirrel some of her cake. So Mouse traded one piece of cake for the wire and went on his way. Soon, Mouse met Bear, surrounded by his many pots of honey. "Hello, Bear," said Mouse. Bear said, "Wowzers, that's one tasty-looking cake. Mouse, my fine fellow, would you mind giving me some? If you give me a piece of cake, I'll trade you." What do you think? What could he possibly want to trade? Well, let's find out. "I'll trade you a net." "A net?" "Sure, a net. You can always use a net, I tell ya." Mouse was sure that Little Bird did not want a net. But Mouse was a very kind mouse. Surely Little Bird would not mind if I gave Bear some of her cake. So Mouse traded one piece of cake for the net and went on his way. Farther on, Mouse met Cow, who was surrounded by bottles of milk. "Hello, Cow," said Mouse. Cow said, "Holy cow, that cake looks good. Mouse, my dear, may I have some? If you give me a piece of cake, I'll trade you a fly swatter." "A fly swatter?" "Oh, yep, a fly swatter. Nothing more useful than a fly swatter. Mouse knew that little bird would not want a fly swatter. But Mouse was a very kind mouse. Surely little bird would not mind if I gave Cow some of her cake. So Mouse traded the last piece of cake for the fly swatter and went on his way. Finally, he reached Little Bird's house. Oh, Little Bird, I wanted to bring you a cake for your birthday, but I traded the piece of cake for a cork, a wire, a net, and a fly swatter. I would make you another cake, but I've used up everything in my pantry. I'm so sorry. I bet he is very sad about this and a little embarrassed. But Little Bird, who was a very clever bird, said, "Oh, but Mouse, these are wonderful presents. Come with me, and I'm sure we'll find a use for them." Let's see what Bird has in mind. First, they met Cow. "What's wrong, Cow?" asked Mouse. "Why, I lost the cap to my soap bottle. If only I had something to cork it up with." "Well," said clever Little Bird, "Cow, my dear, if you give us some milk, we'll give you..." What do you think Little Bird is going to trade for? Let's turn the page and find out. "We'll give you a wire." "A wire?" "Why, yes, for blowing bubbles with your soap." And Little Bird twisted the wire into a loop, dipped it into the soap, and blew bubbles. "Wow," said Cow. So Cow traded the milk for the wire, and Mouse and Little Bird went on their way. Next, they met Bear. "What's wrong, Bear?" asked Mouse.
"These bees won't leave me alone. If only I had something to swat them away."
"Well," said Little Bird, "Bear, my fine fellow, if you will give us some honey, we'll give you a cork."
"A cork?"
"Why, yes, to close up the hole of the hive so the bees can't come out." And Little Bird popped the cork into the hive to keep the bees from coming out.
"Excellent,"
said Bear. So Bear traded the honey for the cork, and Mouse and Little Bird went on their way. Soon they ran into Squirrel. "What's wrong, Squirrel?" asked Mouse.
"Well, I can't get my nuts into the tree. If only I had something to carry them up with."
"Well," said clever Little Bird, "Squirrel, my friend, if you give us some nuts, we'll give you a fly swatter."
"A fly swatter?"
"Yes, you can use it as a catapult to throw your nuts into the nest." And Little Bird bent the fly swatter in the ground, loaded it with nuts, and let it go. The nuts flew through the air and landed in the nest. "Cool," said Squirrel. So Squirrel traded some nuts for the fly swatter, and Mouse and Little Bird went on their way. Finally, they met Chicken. "What's wrong, Chicken?"
"Well, I dropped the piece of cake Mouse gave me. Oh, if only I had another piece to eat."
"Oh, dear." "Well," said kind Mouse, "Chicken, dear Chicken, if you give us some eggs, we'll give you..." What do you think? What do you think that kind Mouse is going to give? Well, let's turn the page and find out. "We'll give you an invitation."
"An invitation?"
"Yes, to Little Bird's birthday party. With your eggs, Squirrel's nuts, Bear's honey, and Cow's milk, we can make another cake." Invite everyone, and we can each have a piece of cake.
Yay!
Said Chicken. So Chicken traded 2 eggs for the invitation and ran off to tell the others. And Mouse and Little Bird went on to Mouse's home. Mouse and Little Bird worked all that afternoon, and together they made a cake that looked and tasted even better than the first one. After everyone was given a piece, Mouse gave Little Bird one last present. Did you notice that Mouse was picking up those flowers all the way along and hiding them from Little Bird? You are such a clever mouse. And you are such a kind little bird. The end. I really like that one because it really shows that even when things don't quite go as planned, kindness is usually the answer, isn't it? So stay clever and stay kind. I'll see you soon.